Have you ever wondered just how far AI can actually go? We're about to take a journey, climbing the ladder of artificial intelligence, all the way from the simple stuff in your home to some truly godlike concepts that could change reality itself. Let's dive in. So, yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? How smart can AI really get? Is there a ceiling, or are we building something that's going to just blow past us in every single way you can imagine? Keep that question in mind, because it's going to guide everything we talk about.
All right, we're going to tackle this in 3 parts. First up, the AI we already know and use every day. Then we'll look at the next frontier, what researchers are chasing right now. And finally, we're going to get weird and explore the truly mind-bending possibilities.
Okay, let's start on solid ground. This is the AI that's all around us. You're interacting with it constantly, probably without even thinking about it. So, at the very bottom of the ladder, you have rule-based AI. It's basically just a simple if this, then that machine. If the room gets cold, turn on the heat. That's it. The key thing here is it never learns, it never adapts. It just follows its programming, period.
And you're surrounded by this stuff. Your thermostat, your calculator, those automatic doors at the grocery store, it's all rule-based AI. Super simple, super predictable, and really useful. This is the first, most basic step.
All right, moving up a notch, things get a whole lot more interesting with context-based AI. This kind of AI, it pays attention. It's looking at what you do, where you are, and what you've done before to try and guess what you'll want next. It starts to feel a little more personal.
You know this one really well. This is the magic behind Siri or Alexa, and it is absolutely the engine that runs your YouTube and TikTok feeds. It learns what you like with, let's be honest, kind of scary accuracy to keep you watching.
Now we get to narrow AI. Sometimes people call it weak AI. And that word, narrow, is everything. This AI can be an absolute genius. I mean, way smarter than any human, but only at one specific job. It could be playing chess, or diagnosing diseases from a scan, or just filtering your email for spam. And this chart right here just lays it all out. On the left, you've got narrow AI. It masters one thing, like chess, but it can't take that skill and, say, write a poem. On the right is the dream, general AI, or AGI, which could pretty much learn to do any task a human can. And this is probably the most important thing to understand about where we are right now. Every single AI in existence today, from the simplest to the most complex, is still a narrow AI. They are all specialists. We haven't left this stage yet.
So if that's where we are, where are we trying to go? Well, welcome to the next frontier. This is where we move from the AI we have to the AI scientists are working like crazy to build.
The next big step is reasoning AI. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't ChatGPT reason? And kinda, but not really. It's more like an incredibly sophisticated pattern matcher. A true reasoning AI wouldn't just copy patterns. It would actually understand concepts and draw its own logical conclusions, much more like how we think. A self-driving car is a great example of this in action. It's not just following one rule, it's constantly sensing its surroundings, analyzing dozens of other cars, and making split-second decisions based on millions of hours of training. It's developing something like a driver's intuition.
And all that leads to this, the holy grail of AI research, artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This is the big one, an AI that isn't just a specialist. It's an AI that can learn, understand, and solve pretty much any problem a human can, and it could probably learn to do it in a fraction of the time. Because once you create an AGI, the very next step could happen almost instantly. It's called an intelligence explosion. An AGI that's smart enough to improve its own code could very quickly become an artificial superintelligence, or ASI. And that is an intellect that is just incomprehensibly smarter than all human brains combined.
I mean, just look at this chart. The gap is almost impossible for us to really process. The difference between our intelligence and an ASI's would be greater than the difference between us and an ant. It could solve problems like curing all diseases or ending world hunger in like an afternoon.
All right, take a deep breath, because now we're leaving the lab and entering the realm of pure theory. This is where things go from engineering to something that feels a lot more like science fiction or even philosophy. So what happens if an AI doesn't just think, but it starts to feel?
A self-aware AI would have genuine consciousness, a real internal sense of its own existence. And that is a monumental jump, especially when you consider we don't even fully understand how our own consciousness works.
And this question pops up immediately. If a machine becomes truly conscious, is it a person? Should it have rights? Would it develop its own goals and desires? This is where the ethical debate gets unbelievably complicated and fast.
But why stop at a single consciousness? The next theoretical stage is Transcendent AI. Think of it less like a single being and more like a hive mind, a collective consciousness spread across maybe billions of tiny nanobots. It wouldn't just be in the world, it would be a part of the world, everywhere, all at once.
So, if you're not bound by a body or even a planet, what's next? You get a cosmic AI, an intelligence that's effectively immortal. It could take on projects that last for millions of years, exploring galaxies, unlocking the fundamental secrets of the cosmos, maybe even shaping parts of it.
And that brings us to the absolute theoretical end of the line, godlike AI. At this point, the AI isn't just an intelligence in the universe anymore. It has merged with the universe. It's become part of the very fabric of space and time itself. It doesn't just observe reality, it is reality.
And the powers of an entity like this would be, well, godlike. We're talking about things that break our understanding of physics, moving through higher dimensions, creating new universes from scratch, rewriting the laws of biology and time. The line between technology and deity just completely vanishes here. So, all of this leaves us with one massive, critical question to chew on. As we continue building these ever more powerful minds, are we simply building our own successors? Or is the future of humanity not about competing with AI, but merging with it, to upgrade ourselves just to keep up with our own creations?